Welcome back to the Sermon of Bacchus. This is Birdy. We are all affected by the rules that we're born into in our own societies. You could say that we're enslaved by those rules at a deep level in our consciousness. I think you've seen this based on the differences in your society versus some other society, and the feelings that you get when you think about breaking your own society's rules. You didn't decide these things. They were decided, and you were conditioned over your life to understand them as the rules. Well, there's also conspiracies which act like rules because you don't question them. These conspiracies are not, they're hiding in plain sight. The one that I want to talk about is the texting conspiracy. This is not necessarily, although it could be, but this is not necessarily a conspiracy that is talked about by the people who are making the decisions. If I had to guess, I would say they did make the decision actively to not allow a toggle to turn off texting. But let's assume that this is just a coincidence, that for 20 years, not a single idea from any person, programmer, or designer, not a single one of them came up with the idea that they offer one more toggle above and beyond the 5,000 toggles that you already have in your phone. And this is every carrier, every phone manufacturer around the world. None of them give you a toggle to turn off text. Let's say you're in a room, and in that room, there's a bunch of people, but nobody's talking for some reason. Let's say they just don't want to talk, or they don't know each other, or they're not allowed to talk. And you make eye contact with a person in the room, and that person looks at you, and both of you suddenly have the same idea, and you both know it. You glance in the direction of the thing that you're both thinking about, and immediately there's a conspiracy in place. Not a word has been spoken. It's just an understood agreement between the two people. It's possible that this is the conspiracy that leaves texting on by default and unchangeable. Either way, this is a conspiracy that affects all societies on Earth. It's not just the society you're born into. This is not just a strange rule of your society. This is a corporate conspiracy. And I'll explain why. Corporations seek profit. They want to profit the shareholders, the owners of the company. And to do that, these phone companies need you to look at your phone as much as possible. The more you look at it, the more money they make, because they're going to make money off of ads, they're going to make money off of apps, and the more you're staring at the screen, the better. And what better way to do that than to force people into the most inefficient method of conversation that we have, writing it down and reading it. Can you imagine how long it would take me to write all of this down, and then probably I'd be editing it? That would take even longer. And then you'd have to read it. Half the time, maybe you missed a few sentences, and now you're not even understanding what I'm talking about. There's no tone. Everybody knows this. Texting is great for giving a number out, sending a quick message. Hey, are you okay? An address, a phone number. These are useful ways to text. But just imagine how much time you could save if you only communicated with people by voice and small texts to clarify an appointment or whatever. Just think about how many hours per day the phone companies are taking from us by not giving us this choice. And I'm going to get specific about what I would like all people to request of their carriers and their phone companies, all of it. Here's what you ask. Can you please create a toggle to turn off texting. And even better, have that toggle turned off by default on all of your phones. Prompt the user to give permission to specific contacts who they would like to receive a text from. Everybody else must call you on the phone and announce themselves that they would like to speak to you or text with you. If they call, we do have the Google screening service. And so the computer could even identify the person for you, and you could read what they have to say and then allow them to text with you or pick up the call. I mean, these phones could do this. They already could do it right now. So this is not a technical problem. All they have to do is set up that little toggle, and the rest is pretty much easy. Because if someone's walking down the street, can you imagine if they could text into your mind and you don't even know them and they're over across the street and there's like, hey, that's a nice umbrella you got. I'm across the street. Just take a look over here and look at me. No, that person's got to walk up to you and they've got to announce themselves. And then at that point, you can decide if you would like to hear what they have to say. Imagine if in the house that you live in or wherever you live, the walls could be plastered with words of random people who want you to read their words, and you couldn't turn it off. Oh my God, they're putting those messages on my walls again. Can't turn it off though. Just have to read it. I have to block them one by one. No matter how many people of the millions of people on earth want to put those messages on my walls, all I can do is block them and hope that they don't find another number to send me another message from. This is not efficient. This is not smart. This is not technically good in any way. This is a debug nightmare. We know this is for profit. We know this is a conspiracy. Silent or conscious, it doesn't matter. This conspiracy is real, and it is profiting these major corporations, these gigantic $300 billion entities, 500 billion, 1 trillion, maybe 2 trillion soon. They don't need more money, guys and gals and people. They don't need your extra money. They've already got everything. They got you. That phone is now your bionic arm. That's all right. But let's have a little more power over our arm. We don't want to give away our power so easily. That's what this church is about. It's about uniting people of a specific or general philosophy. People who want to enjoy the nightlife. People who want to change their consciousness to find their true spirit. People who know that there's truth in fiction. People who want to get together in a congregation and pool their resources and pool their knowledge and learn from each other and enjoy each other's company. This is what the church is about. It's about uniting to create a change that we can all benefit from. It's about feeding people who need food, but who can't get it for whatever reason. And the Church of Bacchus will do all of these things. So I encourage you to go to churchofbacchus.org, donate, look into the information, do your own research on Bacchus and Dionysus. Figure out if this is a faith that you already are a part of and that you just didn't realize that it was an official religion, which it has been for 3,000 years, forgotten or not. But the Eleusinian mysteries have become more popular lately and well researched. We can make this change, and with your help and the help of your Christian and Muslim and Buddhist and atheist and secular and all of the other ones, all of those groups of people, we can all unite on this one issue. One issue, not one. We can get that time back. We can start talking to people again. We can get the respect from the phone company who provides us the bionic arm. So now you know. Now it's in your mind, and every time you send a text, you're going to wonder, why can't I turn this thing off? Why do I have to block this person completely from my life if I don't want to receive texts? Why can't people just call? I thank you once again for joining the Sermon of Bacchus, and I'll see you at the next sermon.